Right guys, my fish has actually arrived for the Holding Reefer Grow and Show. It's in that box, so I'm going to get him out and float and we'll have a look what he looks like. Guys, he's in floating on the water there. I'm going to give him 20 minutes to acclimatise. I think he's picked 20, it says on the bag number 20. So let him float and then I'll bobble him up and we'll have a quick look at him and see what size he is. Right, there he is guys. He looks okay. Quite a nice pattern on him. Come on, spin round. I will try and get a measure on him before when I put the camera down. As he's come up this end. So it looks like he's around about a 14, I think he is. 14 cm. I'll double check when I put the camera down, but he looked like a 14 cm there, so he's been floating now in the water for 20 minutes and this is pond water, so he's ready to go in into his new home. Right, I've put him in and he's gone down to the bottom. I don't know if you can see him, there he is. Every time you put new fish in, they always seem to go down to the bottom. Unless it's because I tend to only put small ones in. These are not taking much notice of him. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit. Right guys, I'm going through new pond syndrome at the moment, which is something that all pond owners face from time to time. I mean, it usually happens when you first build your pond, and it can also happen after the winter. I've noticed this happen to me a couple of times, especially if you're one of these that turn everything off for the winter, and then when you put it back on, obviously your filters of all the natural bacteria has died off, and you're basically starting again. Now, I don't turn mine off in the winter anymore, but many years ago I used to turn everything off. So basically, new pond syndrome, for those who don't know, is just where the water, the fresh water, hasn't quite caught up. Putting lilies and plants in does help make it actually work a little bit quicker, but it's basically your water's fresh and your filters haven't quite caught up with the bacteria that they need to naturally filter the pond. And what you tend to find is you get ammonia spikes, and nitrite will be high, and you'll also get some nitrate. Now, when I have been doing some tests, which I'm going to do again, which I'll show you, I have got ammonia, nitrite and nitrate. Now, you do need ammonia. Problem is with this, you need ammonia to get your filters actually working, so you've sort of got to ride the storm. and maybe do partial water changes. I got my filters on now, cleaning the 3 of them off. So I'm going to do that'll do a partial water change, which will help. It may be worth doing that every couple of days, but keeping an eye on the level, and that's what I'm doing, keeping a close eye on my ammonia and my nitrite. What you do notice is your fish, I mean, looking at them now, they all look good because I'm here, but if you creep up to the pond, you will find a couple of them sluggish or just not moving, lazing about, and that's obviously an indication to get you do some test new water, and that's what I found. Like I say, you've got to ride the storm really until everything catches up. Your filters have caught right up, new water. What I'm finding and what I've done, I've turned my UV off, because when you get a nice film of algae coming on the pond, that's an indication then that it's starting to get healthier and things are starting to work. And at the moment I've got no algae, so I thought I'd knock the UV off just to see if that will build up a little bit for me. But all the fish are good. Like I say, they just a little bit sluggish. When you creep up on them, they're all not moving around, so I've cut the feeding down. I did put my my feeder on 4 times a day, but I've knocked that off a minute. I'm just giving them a little bit of food twice a day just to keep everything going. You can't just stop feeding altogether, otherwise the cycle's never going to kick in, but it's just got to take your time. I'm waffling on a bit now, but that's what's got to be done. So I'm going to get some tests done, show you the readings I've got, and we'll go from there. I'm going to knock the air off now, give them a bit of food, and I'm only giving them this little amount twice a day, so let me just knock the air off, I'll get back to you. Right, that's the air going off. They're all standing here, I think they're all bloody starving at the moment, so I'm only giving them, as you can see, a small amount. They're still very hungry. That's about all I'm giving them at the moment, and I'm doing that twice a day. Just give them enough to keep ticking over. They're enjoying that, so that's their first feed today, so I'll give them something else now later on this evening, and that'll be it. guys, it's been 4 days now since the last clip. UV's been off. You can notice the difference. I think I'm probably going to put it back on. It's really sunny today. Don't know if you can see that. So I'm thinking of doing another test of the water now, see where I'm at. I've been feeding the twice, but they're more active now, they're not slouching around. So I'm going to check the parameters and see if they have improved a bit, because they're not lying, or not lying, but, you know, they're not on the bottom and hardly moving. So let's see if there is any difference. Right, look at the sun behind the pond a minute. Now, I fancy the ammonia has gone down. It's definitely gone down a touch. However, I think the nitrite is gone up a touch. So what I'm going to do, got to trickle in on, and pump these out again, drain quite a bit of water. I'm going to leave it trickling on for a couple of days, just to replenish the water, and then see what reading I get from there. Like I say, you're going to get these little fluctuations, but it's keeping an eye on them is the main thing. But since the ammonia's gone down, they're not lasing so much for that nitrite. It is a touch on the high side there, so that's my plan. So without further ado, we'll get on with it. Hey guys, I've picked up a polycarb panel. I'm going with one at the moment. It's 25mm. What I'm going to do, I think these lilies are in the shade a bit, so I'm going to open the roof up slightly. I'm going to put one in there, see what that's like, and I may drop another one in over there at a later date, or maybe a bit more. I don't want the pond in complete sunlight, but I think it's restricting it slightly with a full roof on. So starting with one, going to put it on, and then if I think it's any good, I may order another, possibly one or two. So I've unscrewed the top, I just got to lift that out, and hopefully if I've measured correctly, that'll just slide in and screw down. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So we get that up there. I have got, luckily, I put these in there, these supports on all the joists, so polycarb can't go anywhere. And it'll be screwed down anyway, but I won't be able to reach in that far, but at least they won't, shouldn't really go anywhere. So yeah, let's try and get it on. Guys, that's in, very easy to fit. Yeah, in nice. I think I will put another one further down. It has made a difference. You can see right in at the lilies now. Mind the sun is behind me coming across, so that's helping. It's definitely made a difference, so I am going to order another one and slot another one in further up. I think that would be a good idea. Fish are all looking good. Gonna give them a bit of food in a minute. Yeah, just going to clean the filter out now again, and I'll get back to you. Right guys, I'm going to give them a bit of an orange, see if they like that. So just cut one in half and let's drop it in. Throw it in.
No, he thinks it's a ball. No, Travis. No, it's not a ball.
Right, climates, it's Wednesday evening now, so it's been a couple of days. I did drain it down a bit. She's still topping back up. So I've done quite a little change. So I've just put my test kit out. I'm going to test it now, and I'm hoping to see lower nitrite. Fish are looking good. Seems to be picking to rain a bit. Anyway, let me get this test done. Right, just give them 10 minutes. Yeah, so the trickle in is still on. Trickling in there between the mugs. Had a couple of visitors the other day, and the hose was nearer the front mug. They said, how do you get that to pour out through all the mugs? They thought it was some sort of water feature. You can see the panel now reflecting on the pond. I have got a clip that goes on this for Claire. I'll have to dig it out. I haven't used it this summer yet. Just giving them a bit of orange. They weren't too keen on orange in the beginning, but the last few days they more up for it. I think they're hungry because I have, like I say, been cutting the feed back. I dropped the water level quite a bit, so the skim has been off. That's at its lowest setting there now, so the water will not go. If it goes any shallower than that, it won't work. So I've come down quite a bit. It's probably about 4 or 5 inches to go before she's full again, I think. And normally off the overflow there, I normally just keep it just underneath, and then I know where I am then. So she's just topping back up. You can hear there's a bit of air in the pump. I don't know if you can hear it now and then. It's because I've had the pump off. Cleaned the glass when the level was down for the first time. There wasn't much algae on it in fairness, but I'll give it a clean. There's a couple of bits of lily around. Like I say, everything's been switched off, so skimmer hasn't picked them up yet. The air's pushing it over here, so I'll have to net them out. Just going to throw them on a bit of food a minute while I'm waiting. It's only the second time we've had food today. Fed them lunchtime when I came home, and just fed them now again, so twice a day. But let's go and have a look at the results. Right, they are lower. Ammonia, hardly any ammonia there now. and still got night right, but it's not as dark as what it was. Let's have a look on the chart. These test kits are a pain to see because you look quite dark until you, well, I find the best way to do it. Take the lid off. Try and look down. Still quite a bit of night right there, but it's not too excessive. The other way I do it is like that, put it down and see which colour matches it the best. And it's nearer the top, although it looks quite a dark shade. If you look at what you can actually see through, the bottom one is much darker and it gets nearer the shade of this as you go up the test kit. That's the way I tend to work it. So yeah, it's still night right there, which is to be expected. The ammonia is down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start feeding maybe 3 times a day now and just keep an eye on things and go from there really. Like I say, there isn't a lot you can do. You've got to keep feeding the fish and you've got to get the cycle to work. So it's just a matter of being cautious, keep an eye on your fish. What I am going to probably do is leave that trickle in on for a week and just leave it trickle. I don't normally use trickle in, trickle out, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Now I got the overflows on, it'll just overflow anyway, so it'll be fine. So I'll just trickle it in until this nitrite goes down. Well, like I said earlier, this glass is great for inspecting the fish. My Leanne said to me earlier, we got to get the tiling done on the front of this. It's scruffy, it's making it look a mess. So that's my next. When I'm off next, I'm going to try and pick up some tiles. Need to get rid of that mixer. Start tidying up around here. So I'm trying to make it look a bit more presentable. Hopefully the weather's coming now. It came the last weekend, but obviously it seems to have gone again now and it's picking the rain, so odd. Anyway, I'm going to end this video, guys, here. I know I waffled a bit through it, but hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, I'm going to be probably getting this new pond syndrome for quite a few months. It can take up to a year for things to properly settle. I mean, once the side walls start getting, you know, a slight layer of algae bloom on them, you know, then you know you're starting to get in the right track. The next thing then you'll be fighting bloody string algae. That'll be another thing to fight off, but for a minute everything seems good. I haven't seen anything untoward other than in the mornings they lay in there quietly. So anyway, waffling again, ending it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the next one. All the best.